Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro Fan. Tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro Fan. Tune into the program. Pro Fan. Tune into the program. Pro Fan. Tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
To the NBA, man. Let's get through some of this NBA stuff. LeBron James came back, man. You know, he's back in the building.
Back, huh?
I believe he scored like 16 points. You know,
it's an all right game. That's not bad. That's an all right game. Not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. You know, I mean, he's missed like the last 41 games or something like that.
That much? Jeez.
Yeah. He missed the last
I didn't realize he was
games.
gone for that long. I knew it was a while, but 41, more than half the year. It's crazy.
Yep, LaMelo Ball return, you know, from the wrist injury after a month
good for
of
him.
being off. The guy, he's got to be like Wolverine or something, because
and still dropping dimes
pretty fast. Yeah, I seen that, man. Like the guy,
boy came back and shoot.
He's young. You know,
right.
Kawhi
he still
Leonard
could win that Rookie of the Year, John.
He still could.
It's still possible. But do you think it's possible, Vlad, for him to still win Rookie of the Year, even with the amount of time that he missed?
Nah, way too many games. He missed way too many games. I was hoping so, but I think he missed way too many games. I mean, the first report said he wasn't going to come back at all. So I'm shocked that he's back.
Yeah, me
but
too.
He's missed too many games. I doubt it.
I think it's a popularity contest and anything can happen. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because he was so highly, you know, favored to be that. You know what I mean? The odds or whatever when he was playing. So I think if he does anything spectacular, like if he has like 2 games with like triple doubles, you know what I mean? I think he's going to be right back in that picture. And, you know, Stephen A is going to be like, that's the one. He's the one.
That's the Rookie of the Year. Right,
you know what I mean? I know.
I don't care how many games he missed. He better win Rookie of the Year.
You know what I mean? Like, God damn it, he healed up in a month. He came back.
Right, and it's still balling.
You know, so listen, if he does anything special, I think anything can happen. I mean, because Minnesota doesn't get all that much coverage anyway. So it's
well, you know, people know about Anthony Edwards now.
But they're still not on TV as much. Like LaMelo Ball is like must-see TV right now.
No,
you know what I mean? Like he's on every highlight every single night. So
right.
Popularity contest, anything can happen. Kawhi Leonard came back.
Finally.
Yeah. How many games did he miss?
I don't even know, but it seems like he doesn't even play, so it's hard to keep track.
Hey, it might be in
like he be using that load management to the best of his abilities. So hopefully he's ready to play now because it's almost playoff time.
That's right. Head coach Terry Stotts, he's the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. He will likely be fired at the end of the season. That's what is being reported. So there you go with that right there. The Suns, Phoenix Suns, man, like this is so weird to say, got the best record in the NBA right now.
Wow.
Like that's like
wow.
Times have changed. You know, times definitely have
impressive.
Changed.
Wow, big shout out to the Phoenix Suns. Shoot, from worst to first, man. Best record in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Within 1 or 2 years, crazy, man. Shout out to them, and then shout out to Chris Paul and Monty Williams. That those guys have changed the culture there, like Chris drastically.
Paul, MVP season, man. He's great.
Without question.
Kyrie Irving continues to be out. These guys are like a ever revolving door of injuries over there. You know, it's either James Harden, Kevin Durant, or Kyrie Irving.
Do you think they all just gonna be suddenly available for the playoff?
That would be very interesting. You know, they need to get fined a bit if that's the case. You know what I mean? Like I would give those guys a hefty resting fine if that was the case. So all of a sudden, you guys are 100%.
No, they're using the load management factor to their advantage. That's what teams do, John. That's what the NBA is now. It's all about load management, resting your key guys, making sure that they're healthy and as close to 100% as they can be, before the playoffs come. So that's what they're doing. That's what the league is right now, guys.
Yeah, facts, man. A name you guys might not have heard in a long time, Anderson Varejao.
Wow. I haven't heard that in centuries.
He's back in centuries. He's back in the NBA with the Cleveland Cavaliers for the rest of the season. Like,
wow, that's random. That's weird.
I just think
they're not making the playoffs. They're not going anywhere. Like,
and a guy
why they even signing anybody?
And a guy like Isaiah Thomas is just like in the streets.
Right, he's not getting any deals, and not getting another deal from anybody. No 10-day contract, no nothing.
Nothing. Like,
it doesn't make sense.
It's very strange.
Asinine.
Anderson Varejao. He looked like
Varejao.
that dude.
Like, I didn't even know he was still playing basketball.
He looks like that.
He's doing something else with his life.
Right. He looks like that dude from The Simpsons. You know, the crazy dude with the hair. What's his name? He's like he was like a serial killer.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't.
I forget his name.
I forgot his name, man. But everybody knows what we're talking about, man.
Right, right.
So Anderson Varejao, all of a sudden, he's resurrected and he's back in
the Wild Thing. You know, they used to call him the Wild Thing, right?
That's right, because he used to be wild all over the place.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah.
Steph Curry made the most threes in a month with 96 in the month of April.
Whew.
96 3-pointers.
Jeez.
Okay.
That's impressive. My God.
Listen, within like 2 months next year, this guy should have like the most 3 points in NBA history all time. Like, it's
right. He's gonna beat Ray Allen's record by next year, definitely.
It's ridiculous, man. Like,
it is.
He's a cheat code, man. A 3-point cheat code, straight up.
Honestly.
You know?
But you saw, I mean, I'm sure you guys saw this before, the clip of when he was like 10, 11 and he shot the ball like it was nothing.
I mean, I don't doubt it, but like
I've seen that when he used to be at like NBA games with his dad.
With his dad, like he shot the way he shot the ball at when he was 10 and the same way he shot the ball now.
And just to see it though. You know what I mean? Especially against your own team when he dropped like 47 on the Celtics. So effortless, man. It's like the guy, look at Steph Curry, man. You know that saying?
Yeah, I know.
That dude, look at Steph, man. He's so inspirational. You know?
For real, and it's crazy. And it's crazy because, some people don't even hit 96 threes in a season. And he just did that in a month.
I don't think Shaq hit 96 threes in his career.
In his career,
bro. There's some Hall of Famers that probably didn't hit, 96 3-pointers in their careers. Like, it's astounding, man.
And I've ended on this. In the words of Drake, chef cooking with the pot, boy.
That's right. Russell Westbrook is averaging a triple-double for the 4th time in his career, which is freaking amazing, man. Brody is that guy.
Man, he's killing it.
Yeah, but I understand, and it's cool and all, but I need you to win. Like, I'm a guy that look at the bigger picture, and it's an amazing stat, but stats are stats at the end of the day. And
yeah, but they've been winning lately, as of late.
No, I know, but they're not gonna do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right, they'll make the playing tournament, but you're right, they ain't even winning the playing tournament.
I mean, I don't know. I admire his his efforts and the way he plays and his loyalty to not go to like he's not running to go to like
a contender,
or
super teams, like building super teams. But he needs to find a way to win, man.
And he's played with some great players too. He should have won much more than he has. He's played with some of the best players in the league in this era of the NBA. So it's amazing and unbelievable that he hasn't won more than he has, because he can't say he hasn't played with any top tier talent, because he certainly has had plenty of that and hasn't been able to take advantage of it and lead that into winning games in the playoffs.
I think Russell Westbrook is an alpha person. He's an alpha male, right? as soon as he gets on the team, like if you don't have the balls, like Russell Westbrook will take over whatever, leadership role you think you have. You know what I'm saying? Like even looking at him with Kevin Durant, it's like, Kevin, you're the best player on this team. Say some shit. You know what I mean? All that stuff you were saying in OKC, I'm Kevin Durant. That's what you needed to be. I mean, in Golden State, I'm Kevin Durant. Like this is the shit you needed to be saying to Westbrook. Like back the fuck up, pass me the ball. You know what I mean? You know how he came at Draymond? Give me the ball. I'm Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? So
where was that same energy in OKC? Right.
You know what I mean?
Where was that at?
And he hasn't had and then he played with Paul George, who's a freaking loser at times. You know what I mean? So he's still taking over. And now he's playing with Bradley Beal, who he's more on the cool side of things, you know what I mean? But Bradley Beals is still a dog.
Ooh, he's a killer, man.
He's a
dog.
Bradley
Beals is a killer, man. Woo. That dude's a bucket, as they say. He is a bucket.
The play-in tournament will be adopted as a permanent structure for playoffs, and I don't know if I like that so much. So that means like teams that didn't work hard enough to be one of the 8 seeds get to play in, you know what I mean, and could possibly beat a team that did everything they should have did to be in that position. That's where I'm at with that. How you guys feel about that?
Well, I think it might make some of the teams that might not make the playoffs be a little bit more competitive, trying to make the playoffs. I'm not a big fan of it. What I really wanted was not have the conference, not have the conferences for the playoff, and then list the teams from 1 to 16, and then have them match up that way. That's something that they talked about a long time ago. I wanted that instead, like where you could have had the Celtics and the Lakers playing before the finals or something. You know what I mean? Like, I was more interested in that than this play-in tournament.
Mm-hmm.
No, I actually like this play-in tournament, guys. Just for the simple fact that, it makes all these regular season games important. Like, like every game, like, matters. Like, or a lot of these teams
don't end up in the play-in tournament, dude. You got to work hard to not be in there.
Yeah.
No, I hear you, but at least gives, these teams a chance that, it makes, the regular season games matter, because there's some regular season games that, teams just don't take seriously, and they just, they got like some teams like throw away games and not play, as hard and with the same energy and intensity as they should. So it definitely, makes these games mean a lot more, and it makes things interesting. It makes you actually have to work to get to those top 6, seeds, and to, and to stay out of that play-in tournament and not be in a one game elimination game. And, so you have to, those regular season games, definitely are much more significant and more emphasis on them, as opposed to, what they were before, as automatically the top 8 being in. So that's really, the reason why I like it, and it makes for good, entertainment at the end of the season.
I think you make some definitely make some valuable points there. Moving on, John Wall is out for the rest of the season with a hamstring injury.
Of course he is. Of course.
Yeah, and I agree with that, because you guys are not in playoff contention. Why would we keep playing?
Right? Why are you coming back anyways? Wasting your time, right?
You wasting my talents here. I'm gonna let Kevin Porter Jr. Do things and take.
Yeah, let him drop 50 and get buckets, right?
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And while we lose by like 30, you know what I mean?
For real.
When I seen that news, I was definitely not surprised at all. But on to some Celtics news, man. The Celtics have had a few games since the last time we spoke. They played against the Hornets. They lost 125-104 up against the Thunder. They lost 119-115. And Jason Tatum missed that game, so that could have been a factor. They faced the Hornets again, and they won this time, 120-111. And then faced the Spurs. They won 143-140 in a 32-point comeback by the Celtics. And, you know, some Celtics news, Jason Tatum dropped 60 in that game against the Spurs.
McNugget. Woof.
60 of them, kid. You know what I mean? That's what he said.
Right. Oh, yeah, I've heard that one. Yeah.
Marcus,
I got you, John. I know what you're talking about.
Marcus Smart was suspended one game for, you know, directing some comments at refs, you know, some threatening comments at the refs in a game. And so he got suspended for one game. Peyton Pritchard signed a shoe deal / endorsement deal with Nike. Everybody
nice. Good for him.
Everybody.
There you go, Peyton. I see you.
Know, y'all gonna cop the P Rabbits?
No.
I love that reaction. Right? That was priceless. The look on your face. He's like, not a chance. He's like, I wasted my hard-earned money.
What are those? The Boston Pea Parties? Like,
oh man, what would your reaction be if you seen someone rocking them? What would your initial reaction be if you see that? Like someone just walking by.
I mean, it's Nike, so people are gonna buy them.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Like, why is Peyton Pritchard getting an endorsement deal now? You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah, he's played well, but I don't know well enough to get endorsement deals. I hear you saying not enough to get a deal from Nike. Just yet, he hasn't been balling out like that just yet. So
listen, you might as well give Tremont Waters a shoe. Like,
Carson Grant Williams a deal, and Silly Ojale if that's the case.
Carson Edwards has one. All right, he has one. Yes, he's been had one. Yeah, I think Carson Edwards is either with Adidas or Puma or something. One of them. I know Aaron Neesmith is with like New Balance, dude. Like, yes, dude. Like they all have endorsement deals.
So then it doesn't mean.
So why doesn't my guy Taco Fall have one? Where's his shoe deal at? Why can't he eat too?
The big false. That's
yeah. Let my guy get a shoe deal. Like, why they hating for? What's up with that?
I thought it was the taco balls.
Oh man. So you really thought that's what his shoes called?
Yo, dude.
Oh man.
All right, man. Well,
shoot. Y'all got jokes today, man.
For real though. The Boston Pea
roasting
parties.
Session. I like that nice little roasting session right there.
Peyton Pritchard, man, he got a shoe deal. Rob Williams came back, you know, which you know was a boost for us. You know, in the energy department, looked like we had some more energy. Time Lord. Kemba Walker missed the last 3 games with an oblique strain. You know, tell me if you heard that, you know, before.
Are y'all tired of Kemba?
Yep, absolutely.
I don't know if I'm tired, but like these injuries are piling up, man, and it's like the best ability is availability, man. I like Kemba, but dog, you have to be on the court, man. You just have to.
For real.
Like, you know, like all these. It's like. You played all these times in Charlotte and, you know, perfectly fine. As soon as you come here, bro, you're like an injury machine, man. Like, it's
for
weird.
Real.
It's weird.
For real. Like, he's one of the most durable players in his time with the Charlotte Hornets. That as soon as he comes here and signs that max deal, you know, and gets the back from the Celtics, boom, injuries just happen time and time and time again. Like, it's getting ridiculous. To the point where the Celtics gonna have to do something with that contract. You know, this is not gonna cut it. Like he's not. It's not worth it. Like keeping that deal. Like they're gonna have to do something.
There's gonna be some nice prospects in the draft. You know, at point guard. So we'll see. What
that's what I like to hear. That's what I'm talking about.
Plus, we got some guys we've stashed away that I feel confident in. Like I told you that before, like that young Madar kid.
Hopefully they bring him up for next year. Hopefully they call him up.
When they call him up, you're gonna see some stuff. So
looking forward to it. Let's see.
For real, man. Some of the Celtics' upcoming games are against the Magic on the 13th, against the Bulls, and then against the Heat. So these are some upcoming games for the Celtics. But we've watched the Celtics all season. They've definitely been inconsistent throughout the time. We've seen like very great comebacks. We've seen some, comebacks that fall short. We've seen some games that we should win and we get blown out. You know what I mean? We've seen some very uncharacteristically, behaviors in this team this year, right? Can this team turn things around before the playoffs?
I don't expect it. I mean, they had that 5-game winning streak, and that was something that you thought was going somewhere, and then they end up losing to Charlotte by 20-something. And Charlotte out of all teams, and they're too inconsistent for me. My belief is the team is hitting growing pains. Some games they play well, some games they don't. They're really going to be good next year. That's my belief, because Jason Tatum have gone to another level. He's gone to that level where if you need him to take over a game, I think he actually can take over a game now. With the 60-point, the 52-point, like he's shown me that when he needs to take it that other notch, he might be able to do that. Jaylen Brown has been playing better. You know what I mean? Like he's brought his game to a whole other level this year. The Time Lord has been playing better, even though, I don't know, he needs to be available and he needs to like not miss games. But if he can be available, he's been a lot better. So you have guys that are getting a lot better, and that next year I think the team is going to be so much better. But this year, man, to me, it's a loss already. I think we will be in the playoff, but I don't know how long we're going to be in the playoff for, especially if we face the Bucks the first round. To me, it's really, let's look, next year is really the year where the team might be better, because the guys now are experiencing growing pains, and it's just not, I don't see any way this team turns it around and have a deep playoff push.
No, definitely hear what you're saying, and I'm kind of, with that, I don't think that there's, enough time with 8 games left of this season, for the Celtics to come back and, actually make a run in the playoffs and make something, and salvage this, disappointing and frustrating season that, they've had. Because particularly since they added, a couple of new guys to the mix and they haven't played much, plus the, guys, being injured, a lot and being in and out of the lineup. So I don't know if they're going to have the right sort of, chemistry and continuity that you would need, in order to do well enough in the playoffs. I don't think they've played, enough games together, to be able to actually, make a deep playoff run and actually have, any sort of success in the playoffs. I wouldn't even be surprised if they end up losing in the first round to, regardless who they play, even the top 4, teams in the East. I don't see them beating. Even like a team like the New York Knicks, they may not even win a series, with them, So I think, it's just been, unfortunate with this team and, how they've played, and their, effort has, just been sporadic, to say the least, and, not good enough, and just, losing too many games to teams that there's no way in hell you should lose to, especially against OKC. Thunder, that loss was brutal and unacceptable, and, sickening to watch them lose to a team that's lost to 14 straight games. And then the G League team pretty much. So I think, I think there's a lot of changes that need to be made with this team, and some big changes that need to be made, after this season. And they really need to, do a reshape of this roster. Like, definitely Tatum, Brown, Time Lord Williams, those guys, are definitely going to be on the team, and, they're building, blocks of the future of the Celtics. But, pretty much everyone else, they should, definitely consider moving on from, if they get the right deal and the right opportunity to upgrade the roster and, get better talent around Tatum, and Brown and Time Lord, because, the team's just not good enough to really do anything this year and make any of this season, as much as I hate to say it. I want to believe, but they just haven't given me, a good enough, reason and seeing good enough play from them to want to believe they can actually make something of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm more of like the optimistic person. I think a lot of things could happen this year, right? We've seen them where they've been pretty good and playing up to their potential, and we've seen them where they've been pretty bad. But with that said, it's kind of like we have a feel around here for the Celtics for some reason, right? The last time we felt like this about them was when Kyrie and them was on the team, and they got their ass beat,
by the Bucks in the second round. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? After, beating them for the first game. You know what I mean? They did play a lesser team. I think they played Orlando.
The Pacers.
The Pacers, right?
Yeah, they swept them.
So
the Pacers were banged up, though. They didn't have Oladipo. They were missing, a few key guys in their lineup.
This year kind of like reminds me of that. I mean, not as frustrating as that year, but this year kind of like has similarities where it's like kind of frustrating, the inconsistencies that's going on around the team. That suggests that
I see what you're saying with that. No, I agree.
Suggests that, this team probably won't go far. You know what I mean? And then you get the game the other day where they played the Spurs, and we come back from 32, and everybody's like, we're gritty, we're playing, and then you see
why were we down 32 though?
Exactly. For real.
That's what I'm
why
saying.
Did it get to that point?
It's like, we can win these games, but like we're not playing hard enough, I guess, until our backs are against the wall, and that's not the way to play in this league. That's definitely not the way to play. But we did see some good developments in that game right there. Peyton Pritchard, getting better and better as the season goes on. Aaron Nesmith has made a sighting.
Yeah,
he's been
that's
balling.
all. That's 2 games.
2 games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's
he took on the Charlotte game and then the Spurs game. Yeah,
he's hitting threes. He's cutting, hitting mid-rangers, rebounding, stealing. Like, he's doing
playing
everything.
Good defense, good one-on-one defense, right.
He's been in the fourth quarter in the last minutes, the last couple games, and he's delivered, like some key moments in the games. And without him, we don't win both those games.
Without him, he's making big plays down the stretch. Now, I actually wanted to ask you guys a question about him. Do you guys think he should be in the playoff rotation?
Oh, he's definitely working to earn that. You know what I mean? Like, he looks better than a Romeo Langford, a Sammy Ojale. Like, the guy, he looks like he's getting confidence.
Right, like what happened to Romeo? He looked good when he came, and then all of a sudden he just fell off the face of the earth and collapsed.
Don't know, but Aaron Nesmith, he's coming. He's doing what we thought he was supposed to be doing earlier in the year.
Right,
but
exactly.
At least it's coming around now, and I like what Vlad was saying about, some guys are coming into their own, and I think next year he's probably going to be really good with Peyton Pritchard. You know what I'm saying? With a year under their belt and getting more comfortable and knowing what they're doing out there. So
right, I'd like to see him as a 6th man next year. One of the first couple guys coming off the bench.
Right. We'll see what happens, man. But I don't know. Like,
well, let's hope
I
he
agree
keeps
with
this
you
going,
guys,
because it's been a couple games. So hopefully he can keep this going. And I just wanted to make this one last point that John, you brought up that there's been a lot of similarities between this team and the Kyrie Irving team a few years ago in 2018. And I think the biggest similarity, unfortunately, for the Celtics is just like the lack of effort. Like, one thing that pisses me off and like is a pet peeve of mine that I can't stand is when teams have a lack of effort and they don't play hard and you know exactly and play down to their competition. Like that just pisses me off and gets under my skin. I can't stand that.
And I think that's why Aaron Nesmith has stuck out the last 2 games, because he's literally the one player out there that's playing 100 miles an hour and giving up his body for everything. And like at the end of the game, last game, like he had like the last 5 sequences had Aaron Nesmith in it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, absolutely.
You know, I agree with what you're saying.
He made that great play when they tried to go at him on the lob. In the paint, and he ended up stealing the ball and giving it to JT for him to hit those free throws. And that pretty much won them the game there. Right. Once they went up 4, that was ball game.
That's right. I mean, listen. Hopefully, the Celtics can start, gaining more chemistry as they start figuring things out.
I really do, John, too.
Fournier's back, and he has a couple games under his belt now. Hopefully, he's rounding back.
But he hasn't been looking good.
He's coming off COVID, you know what I'm saying?
Right. That's true. That's true.
Jason Tatum didn't look so great when he came back from COVID either. So,
look at him now.
Look at him now. Hopefully, he can string some stuff together, get his legs under him, and be able to help us out a little more with Kemba,
I hope so, man.
Kemba being out and all. But we'll keep you guys updated on the Celtics for sure.